So if you've got a bin to mount on your base, you're going to do that next. I've got a power bin here, and the first thing I'm going to mount is one of the sides. And you'll notice there's a bottom slot where the bottom slots in, so you want that to be on the bottom. And then the hooks in the back hook down, hooks in the front hook up. So I can slide that in there. And then I'm going to have to put the bottom onto the other side. Oh, got that backwards. Slide that in place. You can see how that's held together. I've got this bottom backwards. That's easy to switch around. So these holes are intended for the power cables to go through and should go to the back towards the base. So I'm going to do that there. And then these little slots in the front enable brackets to slide through on the face. So these slots create space for that. Go, got a bin. To assemble the stick steps, you're first going to want to slot the shelf into one of the steps. And you want the hooks to point towards the front of the steps so that the back of the shelf lines up flush with the back of the steps. Also, that way the shelf can't come out because it's held against the bin. So that's all solid. Now you can put on the lip, a little shelf lip is there so that things don't roll off. Assembling a 5-fork is super simple. Take the bracket, which kind of has two ends. The end with the SKU number on it, the hook of the SKU number is what goes into the base. So the other hook is what's going to go into your fork. And you'll notice there's a number of slots here. And the slots that are in the base are at different heights. You can choose to put it in these two slots, for example, to have it be a little bit higher up on the base. If you have a power bin there, you're not going to have room to hook anything on top. So you're actually going to want to choose the outer slots so that you can put the 5-fork underneath the power bin. You'll notice it hangs down a little bit off the base. That's fine. These are designed to handle much larger mounts. So when you just have a shallow 5-fork like this, it's going to be plenty strong, as you can see. And this is one of my favorite applications of this because it tucks a bunch of prop handling capacity underneath your power bin in a really compact way. It helps you layer things on that. To assemble a simple mount that just uses one bracket, first figure out which of the hooks is going to go into the mount. The one with the SKU number on it is going to go into the base. So the other one goes in the mount. And you want the hook that's going in the base facing the base. I'm going to mount this one right here to hold my favorite contact ball. But you could stick it into pretty much any slot that doesn't interfere with the other props. The hook. The simplest and possibly most versatile of the mounts. You can use 2 hooks to hold a staff or other stick horizontally, or 1 hook to hold poi or your jacket or keys or other accessories. And it can hook into any slot. I'm going to put it right there so that it's easy to hook things. Assembling the deep fork is pretty simple. You've got your 2 deep brackets that support the long length of the deep fork. And you're going to hook that in place and slide it back so that that front tab can click in and prevent it from going that way. So you do that as 2 pieces. Now the deep fork is somewhat unique in that it will not actually go directly onto one of the bases. It needs to go onto a bin because of the alignment of its brackets. find it goes best on the side of the power bin, like this, keeping things flush to the wall, but you can put it anywhere. The kaizen system is designed to be expandable so you can continue improving. One of the ways you can do that is by adding more bases to your wall. We developed these connectors, these are the over-the-top connectors, to enable you to add a base to the base that you've already mounted to your wall, that you've screwed into your wall, so that you don't have to put more screws in your wall. You can just easily add these connectors to one base and slot it into the base below. And now you have a whole other base on top, which is really great for a horizontal staff rack, stick steps, or other things that aren't going to hang down into the base below. One place you might want to put a base is below another base. So you could do that by screwing into the wall, or you could use our down-low connectors. The down-low connectors enable you to hang another base, and you might think you could hang it as low as this, but then it's not very strong in this direction, so the base can kind of kick out from the wall. So you actually want to pick the next hook below that, the next slot below that for your hooks. So I'm going to go down here, and that way it has strength in this direction. So I've gone 2 slots down. For the base above, you don't need to do that because it's just pulling out. So now I have the base down low. Now, if you have props hanging down from the top base, this might not be low enough. Which is why we include 4 of these and another hexagon, so that you can do the same thing below that. Now this one, for maximum strength, you are going to want to go 2 slots up, but you can go in the slot below that to get maximum low down. And that's still going to be pretty solid. You'll get a little bit of kick out with some weight in there. Like if you have a big toy bin down there, it's going to tilt forward a little bit, but it'll be fine. It's still strong. It's not going to break. You might get a little bit of that. This also enables you to choose the height. So if you want to make it as high as you can fit, if you have poi hanging down here, they're relatively short. Maybe you go a few hooks up. You could even actually offset these. You could either set these ones lower down or put them in the middle, and even hang these maybe right there. And that would kind of be the lowest, or the highest down low. You can set that.